If you are one of these wrestling promoters out here trying to book Ric Flair for an actual full-blown wrestling match, and you're paying top dollar to bring him in, yeah, it's going to bring us receipts. It's not going to be a pretty sight. Wrestling News Code just dropped that Ric Flair is hinting at another wrestling match. He's saying one more match. One more match. Now, you guys can go back to what I said a few months ago about Ric Flair wanting to come back for that last match that he did back in July. And I'll tell you the same thing that I said then. Ric Flair has no business being in the fucking wrestling ring. Facts. And if you guys don't believe me, let me remind y'all what happened.
Flair's bleeding. Oh,
shit. The tag team retirement match that he had in July with Jimmy Crockett Promotions. He passed out twice from dehydration. If you saw his 2 posts on social media after that match, what the fuck was Ric Flair doing? He was drinking, which there's no problem with doing that, but when you step in the ring and you say it's your last match, fam, Ric Flair is tarnishing his own fucking legacy and he doesn't even know it. You didn't need to do the last match that you did in July. You sure as fuck don't need to do this one. But let's go down to this article. You all shall see for yourself what I'm talking about with Flair and why he is trying to return for one last match. So he just celebrated his 50 years in the wrestling ring and all that good stuff, which is obviously is an amazing goal, right? It's an amazing achievement, I think, for anybody to be in the wrestling business for even half as long as he's been in the wrestling business, right? So down here it says, Flair tweeted, "Thank you to everyone who helped me celebrate my 50 years in the wrestling business. One thing is for certain. I will never retire. Woo!" Now, if you guys are thinking right there, oh, Corn, don't be so serious. That's just a little nod, Look, I said the same thing, but then I continued reading the fucking article. In this article, it says the quote-unquote "I will never retire" line could be taken in jest because it's a play off of one of his last promos leading up to his WWE retirement match at WrestleMania 24. But Flair has hinted at at wanting to wrestle again after hearing about Ricky Steamboat coming out of retirement. Now, this is an actual quote. He says, "Steamboat coming back makes me want to come back again." Flair said on a recent To Be the Man podcast. "I went back up to Lincoln and started training again. What else is there to do?" This is coming from Ric Flair himself. I genuinely want to know who in their right mind wants to see Ric Flair step in the ring again. I understand you love the wrestling business. I understand. I think any wrestling fan can understand Ric Flair's love for the business. Ric Flair's love for that ring. Ric Flair's love for competition. Everything about professional wrestling, right? But at the end of the day, fam, you're in your 70s. It's just, fam, nobody wants to see you. Yes, Ricky Steamboat is stepping back in the ring, but we know that's going to be a quote-unquote, return or whatever the fuck. Like, we know what it is at the end of the day in terms of it's not going to be an actual full-blown wrestling match between Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat. You guys have had your day. You had your heyday. You've had your match after match after match, feud after feud after feud after feud. Headlining pay-per-view after pay-per-view after pay-per-view. Ricky Steamboat and Ric Flair have done it all with each other in the ring. Ric Flair, you don't need to come back. And last time I checked, I believe Ricky Steamboat is still, even if it is a couple years, is still a couple years younger than Ric Flair. But you know what? Let me double check because I hate to be wrong in this aspect. Ric Flair is 73 and Ricky Steamboat is 69. Now, those are both two ages that are up there. But Ricky Steamboat, if you looking at Ricky Steamboat lately, very healthy 69-year-old. And again, it's not like he's going to be having some full-blown wrestling match in the middle of the ring. It's just not going to happen. Flair needs to know when his time is done. His time is way past. He's way past his time. You can be a manager. You can be a general manager. You can be a quote-unquote advocate. You can do whatever you want on the screen, fam. If I'm a wrestling promoter, I'm telling Ric Flair, you can do whatever you want. We'll pay you whatever you want, but you are not stepping inside the ring to wrestle.
Michaels, are you okay?
It's just beer.
Great.
It's just beer.
Man up. All right, what happened? What'd you lose him?
He's a freak. He's the fastest kid alive.
This is not good.
He's the fastest kid alive.
Fastest kid alive, my ass. Come on, what are we gonna do?
So I got
Get in the car. Get in the car. This is your fault, you piece of...
If you are one of these wrestling promoters out here trying to book Ric Flair for an actual full-blown wrestling match, and you're paying top dollar to bring him in, yeah, it's going to bring us receipt. It's not going to be a pretty sight. That Ric Flair's last match that we had a couple months ago was not a pretty sight. But you know what? Ric Flair seems like the kind of guy that's just going to have to learn for himself.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
I love the young people.
But the fact that us as wrestling fans, and mainly the promoters, you guys continue to entertain his stupid fucking idea of Ric Flair getting back in the wrestling ring and embarrassing himself to the point to where we're saying, why is he here? Why is he doing this? This does not need to happen. Literally every match on that card was better than that main event. They had to find something to do with the cards that they were dealt with in that match. I get it. At the end of I get that it was all about money at the end of the day to have this whole thing. As is pretty much any wrestling event, right? I hope that this is the last conversation I have to have about Ric Flair wanting to return to the squared circle. Anyways, man, make sure you guys hit that like and that subscribe. It's your boy Korn, and it's Half-Ass Pod, and I am OUT.
Where am I?
Right here, sir. Okay, why don't you turn around to your right?
Hey, folks, how are you?
I think he's having a heart attack.
Again, Gramps.
Oh my God!
All right. Let's get him up. Let's get him up.
Grandpa! Oh my
All right,
God!
let's just call the emergency. We're out here. Nice choice of boyfriends, Bailey. Give your grandfather a heart attack.
Wait, does that mean lunch is over?